Hey guys, it's me Natalie again. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you have not been here before. Hi, nice to meet you. Alrighty, so yesterday was exactly 1 month since I got these little beauties on my teeth. And I thought I'd just share some of my experiences over the past month with you. If anyone here is thinking about getting braces or just generally curious about what it's like to go through this, or they're just feeling like reminiscing the good old days when they had braces themselves. I don't know why I'd want to think about that, but all the power to you. I got a lot of questions on my first braces video and I tried to answer them as best as I could in the comments. But I think I'll just kind of repeat things here. So basically, the key questions were, did people notice you had braces? What did people say about it? And also, how was the pain? Did it die down pretty quickly? Yeah, so with people's reactions, I didn't notice anything. A lot of people didn't actually notice that I had the braces on in the first place. So I had my first singing lesson with my new singing teacher on Friday last week, and we were talking about lip trills and rolling R's and tongue trills, which is something new that I learned last week. It's pretty much when you blow a raspberry but with sound, so it goes. So yeah, and I was explaining how since I got my braces on, this was an amazing thing that happened. I should start from the start. So pretty much ever since I was small, I've never been able to roll my R's ever, which has been a bit of a pain seeing as I sing. I played the flute, which requires rolling R's to do flutter tonguing. I played the trumpet, same deal. And I also spoke Indonesian all through high school, and all of the R's in Indonesian are rolled. So I always struggled with that, and I just thought, I tried my hardest trying to roll my R's. I'd sit in practice rooms at school, at the piano just going, and eventually I made some progress, but I still couldn't really sustain the rolled R. So it was more like a rumah sakit. That means hospital in Indonesian. So I made a bit of progress, but I still couldn't sustain the rolled R. And then I got these babies on. A week later, I was just messing about, warming up in the car, just doing some singing practice because I hadn't had time to do it properly that day. And all of a sudden, this rolled R just came out of me. It was just, driving along. I had never been able to do that before, ever. So what I think happened is that because the braces are moving my teeth outwards, maybe there's more space for my tongue to vibrate, which lets it, contribute to sustaining the sound. It was really strange. My whole life I've never been able to do this thing. I've been working towards it. All of my singing teachers have been really frustrated with me, just saying, why can't you just do it, You've got to support your air more. You've got to just really focus in and let your tongue loose. Countless vocal exercises and mouth exercises trying to get this rolled R. And then all of a sudden in the car this one day, I just do it. So I don't know. I don't know if this is a thing. I don't know if it's just a placebo. But I don't know. That would be really interesting if anyone else has had a similar experience. So, either if they can't roll their R's and then they suddenly could after getting braces or anything like that. But the trade-off with that was that I realized it was harder to do a lip trill, which is kind of like the rolled R's but on the lips. So it's like versus. So I've pretty much got it back to normal now, but for the first couple of weeks after I got the braces on, I couldn't do that and I couldn't sustain that. So that was something that I had to work to get back. But otherwise, I don't think the braces have really interfered with my singing or anything like that, which is really good because that was something I was a little bit worried about. But yeah, all is going well in that department. So when I met my singing teacher for the first time, I told her the story about my rolled R's, and then, you know, I told her the story about how I could magically suddenly do them after getting braces, and she kind of like looked at me. She went, "Oh, wait, you have braces?" And I kind of like really had to actually point them out to her. Like the same thing happened with my boss at work and a couple of my friends, just because I guess people don't really look at your mouth that much, and especially with the ceramic braces on the top. Yeah, it's really not that noticeable. So I've had lots of people commenting like, "Oh, wow, you do have braces." So I think for people concerned about, you know, people judging them or thinking like, "Ooh, she has braces," or "Oh, those braces are super noticeable, you know, that's the thing that my eyes go straight to on her face." Like, I haven't found that that's the case. Or if it is, people don't talk about it, so, you know, I don't know. And what I don't know doesn't affect me, so I don't really care. So basically, the initial pain from getting the braces on died down after about a week and a half. So for a while I was quite sore. I was eating a lot of, yeah, soft foods, soup. Yeah, I couldn't really bite into anything, which was a bit of a hassle because it was orientation period at uni, so there was a lot of free food around. We had a free dinner up at the cafe, and the vegan option was this, it was a burrito, I think it was. But the way the burrito was, it had kind of been like either fried or cooked or something, so it was like crunchy on the bottom and the kind of chewy on the top, if that makes any sense. And you know, when you're eating a burrito, generally you just pick it up and bite into it. But I couldn't bite through this burrito. Like, I tried. It was just like, no, not gonna happen. So I ended up having to cut it up into little pieces, and everyone else on the table was just looking at me like, "What are you doing? Why don't you just bite like a normal person?" And I pretty much just had to like turn and say, "My mouth is sore. I'm trying my best just to eat. But sometimes it's not working that well." Yeah, also just little things like, you know, there was a platter with some celery and hummus, and I tried, you know, I picked up the celery. I'm like, "Oh, celery is not too hard, it'll be fine." Tried to bite into the celery and it was just like, "Oh, okay, this is not working." So, you know, I had to break up the celery into little pieces and kind of just chew it on the molars. And I found I've been doing that with a lot of foods that I used to just bite straight into. So, you know, muesli bars, I'll break up into little pieces. Those like rice cracker, corn cracker circle things, break those up into pieces. Even just like sandwiches, I'll tear up and eat rather than biting straight into them. Bananas, like even soft foods, it's just generally easier to just, you know, tear it into little pieces and chew it on the molars. And that also prevents, in my opinion, in my experience, probably the most annoying thing that I found with the braces, and that is just food getting stuck everywhere. Like, I can't eat a meal without, you know, just everything like getting into the little crevices, which can be really frustrating. So, you know, I'll be trying to eat and then I'll spend like 15 minutes afterwards going, "Get unstuck. Get unstuck, please." So that was something that I, like going into this, I didn't necessarily think that would be that big an issue. I guess it wasn't something that I thought about because, I don't know, all the research I did, all the people I'd spoken to, generally people just talk about the initial pain and, you know, the pain when you get them tightened. But yeah, it's no greater the pain than trying to have a conversation and then finding later that you have like a huge bit of peanut just stuck right there. You can't get it out. Maybe the issue is also because my teeth are still quite crooked and close together. So like there are little gaps that food just really wants to get stuck in. I'll go here. Yeah, because like these teeth are still not very straight. So like little bits of food will get stuck, you know, in between the teeth and the braces. And like often it can actually be quite difficult to get it out. So that's fun. I have to go through extra thorough with the toothbrush and just, you know, really poke at it. But yeah, it's a bit of a nuisance in public because obviously I can't, you know, just get out my toothbrush in a restaurant, you know. Don't mind me, just poking at my teeth with the toothbrush. It's all cool. The other thing I was worried about when I was getting the braces on was ulcers, and I have had some experience with ulcers. So yeah, especially the bits with the little attachments for the elastics, which I assume will come later, really do rub against my lips, especially when I talk a lot. So I've got a couple of ulcers where they rub, like there. Actually, I'll show you the cream that I have for it, which works wonders. Yeah, so it's this little bad boy here. Let's see if we can focus that in. So it's kind of like this pasty, almost sandy, gritty consistency. And you just take a little bit and you put it on the ulcer and you leave it overnight. You can put it on during the day, but I wouldn't recommend it because it goes quite claggy and sticky. So it's quite annoying to have in your mouth when you're doing stuff, but obviously if you're just asleep, it's not really going to affect anything. And it really, if you get the ulcer early, like it'll be gone after a day, which is really good because I used to suffer from ulcers like a lot, you know. When I first discovered this stuff, I had this ulcer. It was like a double one and it was huge and I like couldn't eat pretty much. I was just like in constant pain. And I walked into the pharmacy and I'm like, help me. I need something to help me. Just like, ooh. This Kenalog. Do it. That's my advice. I think there was a point where I had like 3 ulcers at once. But no, I just put on the cream and the next day it was still a little sore and then the day after that they were gone. So yeah, again, not that huge an issue. A bit annoying, but what can you do? Yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of like how it's affected my lifestyle, my life. I'm probably still a little bit lispier than I used to be, but I've definitely gotten that under control, I think. Or at least more under control than I did in my first video when I just got them on and it was a bit, ooh. I never really flossed in the first place, so yeah. But I have tried flossing and I do agree it's a bit annoying. Like flossing was always annoying for me because my teeth are so close together, so it was always really like, ugh, trying to get it between every tooth and some, like it would get stuck all the time. So in some ways, because I think my teeth have moved a bit outwards, it was a little bit easier to floss, but of course it's always annoying getting around the wires. Also with the ceramic brackets, I think I have noticed that they are staining a little bit, like maybe slightly red from like pasta sauce. I had a green lollipop the other day and you know, I wasn't thinking too much about it, and then I looked in the mirror and like this whole side of my mouth was green and I was like, oh no, that's not good, but that brushed off. Alright, so whew, thank the Lord. Yeah, the only other thing with the wires is as you can see, there's a tooth that doesn't have a bracket here because it's one of my premolars and I'm getting those all out in a couple of weeks, which is gonna be fun. But when I'm rushing, sometimes I can knock the wire, or eating, sometimes I knock the wire and it bends a little bit out of place. So I think one night about a week ago, I actually managed to I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. I totally just lost my train of thought. Eek. Yes, my wire came out, but I managed to like, kind of in the mirror, like I could see where the hole for the wire was on the last bracket. So I kind of just poked it around a bit and I managed to stick it back in. So hopefully that's all okay. Because yeah, I didn't really want to go back to the orthodontist and pay fixing fees or whatever. Also, it was like 10 o'clock at night and you know, I didn't want to spend the night having this wire poking into the side of my cheek. Yeah. So my cheeks, I think have toughened up a bit. Like I can feel where the wire scrapes them on the side, like the wire at the back of the braces. Like it feels like scar tissue. I have been torn up a little bit. There was one time when I was at work and like my cheek actually got caught on the wire it was like the top left wire at the back. Like, you know, think of a fishhook scenario. That's what it felt like. I'm sure it didn't go all the way through, but like my cheek was actually stuck on there. Like, oh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But it's all good now. It's good. It's healed. It's fine. All good. Gotta stay positive. Woo! Yeah, I think that's most of what I had to talk about. If you have any questions, seriously, like, don't hesitate to just fire them away, because I'd be glad to answer anything. And yeah, I think just overall, I've generally pretty much gotten used to them now. There are still times when, you know, I'll just be sitting and thinking or talking and I'll notice my lips rubbing against them, or, you know, notice I've got this foreign object in my mouth. But it definitely doesn't bother me as much as it used to, especially in the first week. I felt a bit sorry for myself. But yeah, I guess it's just one of those things where you just have to keep powering on because it's gonna be worth it in the end. Yeah, so I think now let's do a little comparison with the footage I have from last time. I think my teeth have moved. Like, I remember even in the first day looking at my teeth and going, wow. So yeah, for comparison, these are my teeth now. I'll see if I can put that side by side with some footage. So thanks for watching my video. Yeah, if you have any comments or questions or anything, don't hesitate to just shoot a message through with the comment section. I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. And if you're interested to see what my first couple of days with the braces were like, check out my video, which I will link to you in the description. So I think they're working, which is good. So I think it'll just be interesting to see how they continue to work, what happens after I get them tightened next, and also once I get my teeth pulled out, to see. I think that'll probably make a big difference because all of a sudden my teeth are going to have all of this space to move. Until then, you know, they've been crowded together, so there's not really that much that they can do in terms of straightening because, you know, there's just too many of them and not enough space. So I think that'll be interesting to see how much they move once I've got gaps there and some room for them to move around. And I think I'll just keep on updating you. So I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Seriously though, I like validation. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you later. Alright, bye! Let's do one more teeth shot just to finish you off, put you off your dinner, you know. See ya!